Hey everyone, I wanted to make this video about the reveal, the return of White Wolf, which was revealed over the weekend. It's been about a big thing in the world of darkness, which is also partly why I'm surrounded by random stuff and in a different place. I'm in the middle of moving house. So but I really wanted to cover this quickly and kind of get out my thoughts about why I think this is potentially a really, really good thing, and what could happen, what I would like to see happen. I'd like to hear what you think as well, so if you're interested, then we can follow along with this if you subscribe, or you can let me know in the comments what you would love to see, because I know that they've already mentioned the potential development starting for 5th edition Mage, which they put out a poll a little while ago to kind of get the community's feedback about what they were doing and what they wanted to see made and what games that people were playing. Mage came up a lot in the discussions that I had with people, so I know that that's exciting as well. The other large part to this news, just before we kind of dive into it deeper, is that they'll be co-publishing Bloodlines 2, which is a really awesome start to the lineup for this new publishing and licensing business, where and everything I'm going to say you're going to have to take with a pinch of salt. I am not a business person. I do not understand the exact ramifications of creating a new owned business, a new branch owned, I imagine, fully by Paradox, but it does sound like this is going to give them a lot more freedom. Paradox is a video games company, or a games company primarily. It doesn't necessarily deal in the same kind of IP management that World of Darkness have been doing, and they make a lot of strategy games. They have a very specific niche. They do it so well. Even when they make mistakes, they kind of cop up to it and try and fix things. But it's not exactly the same world as making an action RPG like Bloodlines 2 or Swan Song or some of the other video games, and definitely not the explorations that we've heard about kind of through the grapevine style of films, animations, or animations didn't come up. That's just a pie in the sky wish of mine. But actual play productions and all of these other types of media that the World of Darkness team have been producing. And so they have access to the entirety of the World of Darkness, and it is about time that they did something with it. I feel like there have been a couple of years now where it feels like the schedule of book releases, certainly, video game releases maybe less so, have slowed a little bit. Or I guess releases in general, I should say. The latest book, the latest couple of books were the Gehenna War and then Now in Memoriam, which were published by Renegade. It seems like being able to bring all this stuff in-house and being able to produce games and license games out to other people without dealing with other publishers will probably speed up that process. I think that's a really good thing. There have been LARPs, there have been books, but I don't feel like I've had my attention piqued as often as I would like. I would really love to hear about lots of new releases, whether it's card games, board games, video games, book lines, whether that, like, at the very beginning they were releasing audiobook, like print and audio books of short stories, and I would love to see that more. And hopefully this will provide White Wolf with a lot of opportunities. I feel like it's an interesting time to do it as well. It has been 8 years. Has it been 8 years? 7 years, maybe, since the release of 5th edition Vampire, because it came out in 2018. And the community have built their own homebrews, their own consensus on what is a convenient way to use these role-playing books, like sharing tips and tricks, and that's what we've all been doing, making videos and creating actual plays online, and obviously the things that you've explored in your home games have all created this amazing community of creative people that I think have perhaps outgrown the books a little bit. It's certainly interesting, and I'll go into this more in my review of In Memoriam. But In Memoriam is based on the mechanic Memoriam, which appears in that very first book from 2018, that expands on it and provides more tools and reasons to use it. Because I don't think I've ever been in an actual play where it's been used. I don't think it's ever come up in a game I've been in, and if it's come up in a game you've been in, you might be one of the few. Same with some of the other mechanics, which are great conceptually, but maybe it's time for a refreshing 5.5, maybe 6th edition version of the game. We've all seen what works best for us and what doesn't work, and what fits the vibe of the games that we're playing. And not to discount previous editions, because I've known many people that use 20th and revised and homebrew the hell out of those to make it the game that they want to play. And I think it's time for a new, fresh take. This is also coming alongside the fact that the world, it's not the World of Darkness team anymore, it's the White Wolf team, are looking for a creative director. It would be really interesting to hear a new voice and vision for everything in the World of Darkness to make it cohesive. And for someone to kind of, I would love to have my wishes fulfilled, and everyone can like say, oh, I want Mage 5th edition, and I want mages to work like this, and I wish vampires did this thing. That's cool and all, but I'm also open to being surprised by someone with a completely fresh and exciting perspective on what makes a good vampire story, what makes an exciting werewolf story, whether that's in a game or a TV show. And, you know, having lots of people in a singular team like that to get behind the creative director's vision is a really good way to make everything that happens fit. Because I think we've all found what excites vampires, is exciting about vampires for us and for our individual tables, but also as kind of like an internet community. We all agree or disagree on certain things, and have but have a very kind of cohesive idea of the cool things about VTM in particular, and not just vampires in general, which I think is really nice. And I love just seeing people explain to me why their favorite clan is their favorite clan, and then, you know, looking down their noses at Bruja or whatever, probably Tremere, let's be honest. But yeah, we've all kind of got behind these archetypes of different vampires and all of the different characters. And I would really like to see more of that. I would love to see more storyteller characters like Beckett, may be, or Lucita de Aragon, or don't know if I'm saying that right. I don't know, Goratrix. Take center stage in vampire stories. Maybe meta plot. That's a bit of an iffy one for me. It can go really well, it can go really badly. And I know there are a lot of writers that either hate or love meta plot in different ways for different reasons. But pushing high level narrative world of darkness changing stories forward, and providing us opportunities to create our own stories in those through TTRPGs or LARPs, or being able to watch parts of them unfold in actual play shows, maybe even TV shows. It seems like the world is their oyster at the moment, and I am genuinely excited. White Wolf, as a name, has been around for a very long time. What is it, 30 plus years now? Is it coming up on 35 years? It might be as old as I am. And it has been attached to many, let's say, controversies. At this point, I can't fully remember what they were when 5th edition first came out, and eventually they dissolved White Wolf to bring it into Paradox and change out some of the people that were working there. But it is a name that holds quite a lot of good feelings for people still, even though, there's way back in the 90s, it was a bunch of white dudes writing about cultures that they didn't necessarily understand, and not in a particularly sensitive way. We're past that now, and even though there've been what I would call controversies, there's still a lot of good feelings towards that name. So I'm happy to see White Wolf back. I'm happy to watch and wait and listen for what they're bringing out next, and to make the most of Wraith, Changeling, Demon, Mummy. Not lying, I would love to see them do something with Mummy. It's, at least conceptually, it's not going to happen. But I know everyone's got their favorite niche part of the line that they would like to see something done. And like I said, there's a world of opportunity, a world of darkness of opportunity. And I would really love to hear what part of the world of darkness you would like to see them develop. I think I want them to start with Mage. I would love them to start with Mage, because we've had Hunter and Werewolf after Vampire. It feels like it's the right time for Mage, because in the world right now, truth is malleable. Lies can be just as powerful as truth, and there can be competing narratives that we see a lot, especially with the invention of AI and generative AI, inventing videos that we see before our eyes that are not real, but do have an appearance of reality. And if that's not a theme for the technocracy to explore, I don't know what is. And yeah, there are so many cool things about Mage, like how the traditions have probably lost. And my phone is telling me that I'm out of storage, so I'm going to stop blathering. Please let me know what it is you want to see out of the brand new, the shiny Werewolf before I go. But until next time, don't be a stranger.